Hello everybody, my name is Zach, aka the Weather Gamer, bringing you week 4, 5, well, we're going to start that off wrong. Week 5 recap for WWC. I am joined by Nolly.
How's it going, guys? Coach of the Columbus Crowbats.
Beat me to it. Yes, Coach of the Columbus Crowbats here. So, we actually have all of our games caught up. Zippy got healthy finally and was able to make up 3 weeks in 1 week. Super impressed by that. So we have our full week 5 standings here. Everyone's got their 5 games. Number 1, the only undefeated team still, is Checkmate and his Simians. I had no idea anything about Checkmate coming in. He's a friend of Slick's, just like Nolly is. That's about all I had. The man emailed or DM'd me through Discord saying, hey, I'm going to be gone at months at a time because I go offshore and I don't have good internet. So I'll get the matches played when I get them played. So obviously low prep time, and he's 5-0. You know him better. Is he going to get beat this season, you think?
It just depends, honestly. I mean, he does a lot of his prep without damage calcs and without the internet, I know, when he's offshore. So, like, he plays a lot of his matches when he does get the chance. He's just really good at this game. It's hard to tell. I've seen this man absolutely dominate with, like, a dual Sun Sand team before also. He's just... It doesn't matter what team he has, he does well.
The man, after my impressiveness, being able to run dual weather, I failed at that the last time I tried to run dual weather.
Yeah, he's always super impressive no matter what league he's in. He always performs near the top.
Yeah, it's impressive. Then we get a very clunky 4-1 group. Ian, last season's champion. His bulk team is just wearing people down. You saw that numerous times
I did.
this season. You saw
Oh,
how I
yeah.
have to deal with it.
I mean, just that nasty regen core with power hitters and Dragonite and Heatran and the versatility of Mew. And I mean, Mega Aerodactyl can just run so much bulk because it's just naturally so fast and hits hard. It's insane.
It's not fun. I'll attest to this after getting 6-0. It's not a fun one to get hit by at all. Photon, to nobody's surprise and shock. We do have Photon taking his first loss, but Photon and Ian never got connected, and I offered an extension, and I said, you guys can do this. Like, come on, this is the highlight match of the season right here, and Photon just decided to forfeit, so Photon did pick up his first forfeit. He needs to be careful about forfeiting. But yeah, I really, that's the only reason he's got a loss, so no shockers that Photon's in the top 3 spare or season 1 champion.
Yeah, from watching his games, I noticed like he could easily be right up there with Checkmate as a 5-0 team, just besides that whole...
The top 4 contain 2 of the 3 season champions. Rye being the only one not in here because Rye decided to retire from lower leagues, basically. So,
Right.
Blaze right up there. Blaze is a surprise to me. Just from what I'd seen in other leagues with him, I didn't expect him to be 4-1 right at the top, and his performance last season too. So that's a shocker. Zippy, not surprised at all.
I wasn't sure when I went to prep for him because he was one of the teams that had all those makeup games, so I didn't really have any intel on him or any really matches to watch. He just brought complete filthy bulk against me.
Yeah, Zippy is the Alpha Division champion from the previous season, beating Photon.
Gotcha.
Photon and Zippy never should have been in Alpha, but yeah, you know, things happen, so...
Fair enough, yeah.
Savage, I'm not really surprised. He's always a solid battler. Jake, I know you're watching this, don't take this the wrong way. I'm really surprised you're in the top 8, but I'm very happy that you're in the top 8. Because Jake and I have a very similar skill set, and most of the time he and I are fighting for the last playoff spot, or like finishing in the top 10 in most leagues we're together.
I think that's been the funnest part about the season so far for me, is like getting to face all these new people that I've never faced in League before.
Yeah, well, I'm glad that it's like, that hey, let's talk this up to a few people. I was like, sure, go for it. Even though we pushed us to 20 coaches on accident. I was like, One thing that's really shocking, Slick started 2-0 and he's gone 0-3 since.
I've noticed that I noticed he was 2-0, and then I watched some of these past few weeks' matches, and I'm not sure what happened.
I don't
It
know.
didn't seem as if, like, his arm was scarred from the week 5 match. I'm not really sure if it was. It didn't look like it. It got outsped by quite a few things, and it kind of shocked me.
He also didn't have a ground resist, so.
That's true. I know he made a trade to get that, so.
Also, did he have a mix-up on guerrilla tactics? I remember somebody mentioning something about that. I can't remember if that was this week with him thinking he bulked up with their Manitan or something.
For the week 5 match, I think he.
I don't remember. I just remember somebody mentioning not knowing guerrilla tactics. I can't remember if it was Slick or if it was in Alpha.
Oh, I don't think it was this because, this was the week Slick brought the Dragon Tail Mega Aggron, which was a really good bring, and the thing is, Huff brought it really mean. He made some really good reads with the Buzzswole early game, and the same thing with his Mixlot. He said it actually just caught Slick off guard, I think, a little too much. Put him too far behind.
Yeah, I wouldn't count Slick out, like, at this point, because Slick is such a finesse battler at times that he can rock it back up very quickly. Same with Matthias. I know Matthias is an extremely good battler. He is playing the coin flip game this season, so we'll see how that goes. His 2 wins are by 6-0s from Charizard. His 3 losses are, I believe, a 1-0 and 2 6-0s because he couldn't get Charizard set up.
Right. Yeah, I know Slick. I don't know.
Yeah, Slick will get rolling. Matthias can get rolling. Damien is a good battler. Huff, we'll see if Huff can get it pulled back together. Same with Acorn. The problem is the 15 through 20 slot, which includes both of us. The 1 in 4 teams, we can't afford to take another loss, any of us, or we're all probably just SOL for this season.
Right, at least not a horribly huge loss. I mean, it depends how the middle of the pack goes, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I have fallen all the way to 19th. It's something about the even seasons of WWC. Season 1, I qualified for playoffs. Season 2, I finished 15th out of 16. Season 3, I qualified for playoffs. Here I am, Season 4, and I'm 19th out of 20th.
Alright.
Maybe I should just not play the even seasons.
I guess the biggest thing for me is I'm struggling. I didn't really understand G-Max and everything until the season. I've never messed with it. I don't play ladder or anything like that, so it's been kind of a learning experience for me.
Yeah, that's the really shocking thing, because if we were doing PRs, because PRs kind of fell apart again, we'll fix that in the future, I hope. I know I said that last season, but arguably the consensus was you had the best draft, and so we all were. I think you're probably the biggest shock to be 1 in 5. You're 1 in 4, so.
Right.
I think that's arguably the biggest shock that most of us have felt. But you are crawling back up, so.
Yeah, I had a decent win. I mean, Jirachi just kind of took the storm and just kind of 6-0'd, so I mean, I can't be mad about that.
Jirachi's a hidden threat. A lot of people just assume Stealth Rock, but you have to remember, Scarf Jirachi is a very viable set.
It is. Also the stored power set that ran away with me this week, for week 5. No dark type.
Stored power sets give me PTSD, because I've been beat down by stored power way too many times.
Right. It just depends. I love the versatility now, especially since so many things are getting cosmic power. It's really interesting, actually. You almost need a dark type on your team now.
Yeah, let's not talk about Celesteela getting cosmic power.
Oh, right. I forgot about that, actually.
Celesteela's gonna get, like, banned, potentially, if it gets out of hand, but... So yeah, that's our standings. We'll see if any of these bottom teams, these 1 in 4 teams, bottom 5, can crawl their way back up into the top and maybe make playoffs. Otherwise, there's a lot of really... Like, it's very evenly distributed. You have 1 undefeated, several 4-1s, a few 3-2s, and then, like, the bottom is be decently distributed too. So we'll see here in a couple weeks if someone starts running away with it and some teams fall out, or if it just becomes more of a jumbled mess type of thing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see because, like, the crazy thing is a lot of these 1-4 teams could easily swap with the 2 and 3s and just fill out the middle of the pack the way the season can end up going. I mean, you just never know.
Yeah. It also depends what happens at the top, how many of these like playoff teams end up having to play each other and start essentially cannibalizing themselves.
That's true.
So moving into the kill leader thing, we'll get to the kill death ratio, but full statistics. To no one's surprise, Mega Charizard is still on top, courtesy of 2 6-0 sweeps. Charizard just, when it goes off, it goes off. I'm very happy that there's a Charizard in the top 10. G-Max Melmetal, this is one that I said for a long time. I'm surprised is not up here. Where is G-Max Melmetal? Here it is, tied for first at 12. I think Acorn's finally starting to find his rhythm with G-Max Melmetal. I know he keeps trying to get me to trade him Melmetal, but no. Melmetal greater than J-Max, as I've learned this season. At least from a build standpoint. But no, G-Max Grimmsnarl, also not really surprised that that's up there. That thing is just so lethal.
Honestly, that was the steal of the season in my eyes for 13 points, I believe it was.
We had no idea how lethal some G-Maxes were and how inept others were. And Grimmsnarl, if G-Max stays in the league, will definitely be getting moved up out of 13 points.
Yeah, it's an absolute monster. I was not aware at the start of the season, so kind of shocked me.
Well, after seeing MV and Joey use it, like, it's nasty. It's destructive. Gardevoir, Kartana. I mean, Kartana kind of makes sense with no hidden power fire. Granted, a lot of things getting Mystic Fire.
Yeah, but being an Ultra Beast with good speed and attack, it can just start running away with kills if not prepped for properly.
Yeah, Gardevoir is really surprising.
Yeah, I am shocked by that also.
Mega Arrow makes a lot of sense. Urachi got on the board. Again, Damien and his Galactic Metagross, his 8th and 9th place kill leader. These two are very, very interesting to me because Dreadnought doesn't have rain support, and Comfey is Comfey that lost its hidden powers.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, you see Comfey do great in low tier leagues still, even with the removal of hidden powers, but I mean, against all the big tier ones and whatnot, it's kind of shocking.
Yeah, with all the steel types running around and it doesn't get Mystic Fire, I'm really surprised that Comfey has picked off as many kills as it has. So then you get Scissor, one of the arguably broken Mons again because the removal of hidden power. Dracovish, I mean, there's still some surprises that are missing from the top 10. Dracovish just sitting outside, Hatterini, Hydreigon, Mew hasn't cracked the top 10 yet. Darmanitan didn't crack the top 10 yet. Kyurem Black hasn't cracked the top 10 yet. It's just, there are still a lot of really threatening Mons that seem to have been pushed down the kill leader board.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking. I noticed, I figured Necrozma would be one of the few to make it in the top 10 early, or like midway through the season, but I don't see it in the top 10 anywhere, so that's kind of shocking to me.
Necro is, I'm trying to find it right now. Where is Necro? Your Cinderace too, that's another Mon.
Right, yeah, it's not been doing well for me this season.
Necrozma's all the way down in 87th, so only 2 kills through almost half a season. So, still interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. There's no Seismitoad, there's no Breloom, there's no Alolan Raticates. Other than, okay, Comfey might take that spot for that type of surprise Mon, but
right.
It's not owned by Huff, which is what makes it even more strange, because usually it's Huff that puts a weird Mon up on the board.
It's going to be interesting to see how Gardevoir continues to go throughout the season, if it can keep it up, or if it starts to fill more of a support role.
I don't know. With with Spare, you have to pretty much expect anything to be offensive and anything to be defensive. He knows how to manipulate his mons to do what they need to do each week. That's why he's got a championship. Well, and plus he had Magirna, so that might be part of the reason why he has a championship. We don't talk about Season 1. It doesn't exist. So, as far as the kill-death ratio goes, though, the only change-up you see is Grimmsnarl, Charizard, and Melmetal kind of clumped together at +9. Each of them, like Grimmsnarl has one less kill, but Charizard and Melmetal each have an extra death to their extra kill, so it's still kind of clumped up there. Other than that, I'm still happy to say I have him on the top 10 on the full statistics because Charizard's +4, so it's sitting there.
Oh yeah, it is sneaking in the top 10 there.
Hanging on by a thread. You have Jirachi now up there at 8.
Yeah, it's helped with that 6-0 sweep with it. It's the only reason.
Yeah, but similar to the kill leaderboard, it's very interesting. Like, the top 3 make a lot of sense, but after that, there's still quite a bit missing that should be up here.
Yeah, there's a lot of big threats that are just not there. I mean, Nidoqueen's not technically too surprising. You could run away with kills if, you manipulate the game close enough and you build around it, it works well. But like Gardevoir again, just kind of shocking.
Yeah, so, I mean, Gliscor up there kind of makes sense with now Hidden Power Ice. I don't know. So then, flipping into transactions, there were a lot of transactions this week. Some of us kind of reshuffled their entire deck. Others just helped out a friend. I basically redid my entire team with 3 transactions and trades from people. I ended up shipping Liepard and Ribombee for Avalugg and Orbeetle. The Thriller. I mean, I can talk about these, but I kind of want, that's part of why I have Nolly here, is to talk about them from an outsider's perspective. So when you take into effect those trades, plus my free agents, plus my trades with Jake, I think I'm better off or worse off?
I think you're better off, to be honest. I like Mega Metachamp. It gives you immediate, more raw power. I just think it's a better fit, to be honest, than Mega Gallade for your team. It really needs that, especially when you're dropping Haxorus, but I also kind of agree with that too. Your speed tiers are a little more filled out in my opinion, and personally I think Orbeetle's great because with the lack of dark types on a few of these teams, you can really run away with a potential stored power sweep if used correctly. I do like Dracozolt as a fill-in, and Ditto's, with G-Max's running around, Ditto's, it's the same reason you saw it in the top usage in ladder. I don't play ladder, but I saw it was up there at the beginning before Dynamax was banned, and it's the same situation. It's just going to be a check to all those things. Overall, I think it does improve your team quite a bit, honestly.
The only issue, I don't have rocks, and I still have to play Charizard at least one more time this season.
That is true, but
so
at least with Ditto there's a check I could potentially not want to set up against you.
See if I can bug somebody into giving me one more transaction and be like, hey, Ditto, that was nice for one day. I'm just gonna ship you along here and get myself a Stealth Rocker and not get blown back by Charizards when I inevitably somebody picks up Yard and then I gotta play Yard too. No,
right.
The biggest issue I was having was between Haxorus, Gallade, Melmetal. They were all... It was basically like having 3 alphas fighting over kills every week. And I didn't have anything on my team that could really tank hits either. Like, sure, Melmetal can tank physical hits. It doesn't necessarily tank special hits all that well. Yeah, Primarina can tank special hits, but...
Right.
It's not the best, and so I think that's part of why I had such a slow start, is just... Well, how do I build... Gallade has a great matchup. How do I build with it being the win con? Oh, but Haxorus also has a great matchup, so let's bring it for a win con. Or, oh, hey, Melmetal also looks great this game. Let's bring it, and then it's like, okay, well, you just lost 3 win cons because they all had to take hits that they couldn't take. So.
And honestly, like, I know you got rid of Haxorus, you picked up Drakazalt, but like, Drakazalt can kind of do a multitude of different things. I mean, it can obviously run the Sand Rush, the Hustle type abilities, be super offensive, especially with the webs paired with Orbeetle. But that's a beautiful thing. It can also run a bulky Bolt Absorb set, and its typing's really good at resistance, so honestly, it helps your team quite a bit.
Yeah, and
You know, you don't even have rocks, like, you do have Toxic Spikes and Spikes with Quillfish, which Spikes are my favorite hazard in the game, so.
I have 2 Spikers and a T-Spiker, and, like, so that's for those, like, as much as it pained me to get rid of Mega Blade, I went to Mega Medi because I've been using Mega Medi in another league, and I know how to use Mega Medi right now. I do know how to use Mega Blade, it just wasn't working on this team. Haxorus is another one that I know how to use, but again, infighting with Melmetal and Blade, he's like, you know what, we're gonna run webs, let's go grab Drakazalt, because Arctazalt is not a good electric type, just is not. I say that as Arctazalt got 3 kills in 1 game, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So I wanted that for a new electric and dragon type. Ribombee has been fantastic for me in Draft League, but Orbeetle saved me points. Orbeetle also can tank hits with its, I believe, 110 defense, 120 Spadef, getting both Iron Defense and Calm Mind. So it's like, you know, Ribombee's frail, hits like a truck, but Orbeetle's fat and can hit like a truck, so.
And the beautiful thing about it is that 90 speed allows it to beat a lot of bulkier types because of that massive defense stat and body press paired with the 90 base speed stat. It can check even its own counters a lot of the time. It's actually really good.
It is a incredible moment. And then I still was not satisfied with my bulk, which is why I ended up trading, even though Rillaboom can be bulky, I traded that to get the Sidgewai, which gave me a ghost type I didn't have, gave me another defogger because hazard removal is still not the greatest on my team, and saved me some.
Honestly, the beautiful part about the Sidgewai is too, like, sure, it's not average bulk on the defensive side, but it's got that good special bulk. And offensively, I mean, you don't really know, it can go either way. Nasty plus set, it can go physical, I mean.
The Sidgewai has given me fits with how bulky it can be at times. I prep for a defensive one, and then Spadef hits don't hit it very well. I prep for a Spadef one, and my defensive hits still don't hit it very hard. Like, it can be very annoying, so I'm excited for that. And then I needed Weavile, mainly for the dark type. That's part of why I dropped Liepard. Liepard just is not a good dark type, in my opinion. Yeah, Prankster's nice, being able to con pass things around it, set up Sun for my Charizard once, but it doesn't have the damage output that I need out of a dark type with my team like that. So I think Weavile should fix that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I mean, overall, I think these trades do just help your team out.
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping this is where I start climbing back out of the 1-4 hole.
It gives you a little more synergy, and it feels like your middling speed tier is a little bit better, in my opinion, so, I mean, I like it.
I still need a Stealth Rocker, but I've got plans for that, which we'll talk about in Week 6, but Damien did drop Electivire and Poltegeist, picking up Raichu and Blacephalon. Raichu makes sense because it gives him a little more speed, still gives him Lightning Rod for Electivire. Gives him a... I think Raichu's a better electric type in my opinion. And he never brought Poltegeist, even though I know Poltegeist can be incredibly lethal with Shell Smash and a Focus Sash and a weak armor.
It can. I guess the only thing I don't really like about Poltegeist is its lack of coverage. That's, I think, where it lies in its biggest issues.
Fair enough. I flash back to a league that I was in where it was Shell Smash, Focus Sash, Poltegeist. I brought a Scarfed Greninja to outspeed, and then didn't set Rocks and Night Slashed, and it took the Poltegeist down to 1, and then Poltegeist got a 3rd speed boost and swept.
Yeah, I mean, it can definitely be threatening a runaway with games, that's for sure.
I don't know. Blacephalon to me is a little, like, with the loss of hidden power and Z-moves, Blacephalon still hits incredibly hard, but I don't think it's as lethal this generation as it was previous generations.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I mean, I do probably agree that I like Poltegeist a little better. Just, I mean, I've never been the biggest fan of Blacephalon myself personally, but I think that's just a preference thing.
Yeah. And so then you and Slick did a trade back so he could get his ground immunity finally.
Right, yeah, I mean, he hit me up and asked if I could help him out, and I was planning a few trades, which I'm not going to get into because they're for the next week, but I only knew, like, on all the possible scenarios that I had, I was only going to use 4. And at that point, I'm like, yeah, I can use up my 5th one to help him out, so.
Yeah, it's always good to have friends in the league that you can be like, hey, so you have an extra transaction, and I burnt all mine being stupid again. Can I borrow some of yours?
Right.
I mean, that's the perks of me being such good friends with Jake and Thriller. It's like, hey guys, can you help me here? I need some help, because they know in the past, like season 3, I didn't use any of my transactions, and then Jake's like, hey, I screwed up my draft. Can you help me? I was like, sure. So like,
yeah, I mean, Slick's helped me out before in other leagues too. I mean, the same situation, so I mean, I don't mind helping him out. It's always the benefit.
Good to do that. So I guess though, from the last, with all these transactions, I'll go to the tier list here again, because there's still some mons that are sitting out there that really surprise me. Like, okay, Mega Glade's now out there. I dropped that, obviously, but that's still a very threatening mon. G-Max Corviknight, having not been drafted, is still
right.
Mega Venusaur and Mega Snorlax, or Snorlax G-Max, 2 incredibly fat mons that are just sitting there.
Yeah, there's definitely some interesting ones that I mean, that's like, I don't know. I want to say Manaphy's shocking, but it's not. It's one of those mons sometimes gets picked up, sometimes doesn't. When it does, it normally does amazing, but...
Yeah, unfortunately, Manaphy lost a lot of its oomph with losing its Z Crystal. Like, it doesn't have to have a Z Crystal, but losing it definitely hurt, and hidden power.
I'm kind of shocked at Mega Blastoise also.
Yeah, that one's been sitting for 2 weeks now. That's still, even though it doesn't get Shell Smash, the fact that it's sitting there is...
I don't know. I guess I shouldn't be too shocked with G-Maxes on the board. It's, yeah, I guess, not too shocking that a lot of Megas are sitting there, but...
Yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of people that are very anti-G-Max.
Well, I guess my thought process with it was I'm going to grab one just because I'll probably never get a chance to use them again. So.
Yeah, I mean, we'll obviously take a vote at the end of the season if we bring them back or not, but I mean, if I didn't have Melmetal, G-Max Corviknight would probably be on my team over running Mega, but I
considered that so many times in my trades and transactions was picking up G-Max Corviknight, to be honest, moving around some pieces. So tempting just sitting there, but...
Corviknight's a good mon. If you run the bulk up set and then G-Max, it's like, hello, what just happened here?
And I know it's slightly cancerous, but the whole max HP, max Spadef with Spite can really just annoy some teams. Throwing bulk up in there with Roost.
Yeah.
It's a dirty set.
And then Power Trip.
Yep.
Yep, that's Corviknight for you. But, and as far as the lower tier stuff, I don't think there's anything really that's surprising down low. Still sitting there.
No, not too much, to be honest. I mean, Alolan Ninetales is actually still sitting there, and Veil is very good, so that's a little shocking, but...
Number of times that I've tried... Caparada, too. Caparada is still out there. Caparada is a very good steel type.
Yeah, it is. I mean, other than that, though, yeah, I don't see anything too crazy. Duraludon's still sitting there. It's a value steel type, in my opinion, but...
Well, We all knew G-Max Pikachu and G-Max Meowth weren't getting drafted.
Right. G-Max Meowth just used to get some money. That's about it.
I mean, it's G-Max Mew does cause confusion, but why do that when there's a G-Max Hatterini that does the same thing?
Yeah, that's a good point.
A much bigger powerhouse. So
that's a good point.
Yeah, I think that's gonna end it for week 5 here. Next week is the halfway point, so we'll get kind of a halfway through the season look at how things are going. We'll see if any major upsets occur, that sort of thing. But what else comes out for transactions? I know, spoilers, you made some very shocking transactions. So
yeah, I changed up my team quite a bit, but I'll leave that for you for next week.
Yeah, let me just say it's probably one of the biggest drops I've seen happen in a season. So we'll leave it for you there as a spoiler, or not a spoiler, a tidbit for the next one. So Nalia, thank you for the time, and I think we're gonna go ahead and call her here.
Yeah, sounds good to me. Thanks for having me anytime. So just let me know if you ever want me to drop on again, and I will.
Definitely will. As we start getting into playoffs, I'll start bringing in more people that actually understand the playoff picture and can be like, okay, this is what you have to do to make playoffs, or this person to clean it. Like the stuff that goes over my head, and then I'll be like, okay, cool. Now I know where people are in clinching scenarios. So
right.
I'll definitely bring you on for that. And with that, guys, we're gonna get out of here. So we'll see you next time.